berth into the knockout stage to join Gen.G.
I'm still kind of reeling from having 2 draft plans of giving over Xayah Rakan. But if they can pull it off, that will be massive, massive, massive for the entire tournament. And here we go, Mickey leading the way on the Nautilus, looking for any early flash advantages they can get. Hansama does get the ward over onto the blue buff as well. So they'll be able to suss out the Peanut start.
Yep. Chovy taking 2 rocks. So some pebbles to the back of the head for the Akali. And he's taking the fleet footwork. He should be absolutely fine in this lane. But Caps on the Talia will have the push advantage, and priority in mid lane is something that we like to talk about almost too much because it is so very important.
And it's pretty easy when there's an Akali lane because pre-6, that's going to be non-existent for the Akali side, and Caps see what they can do with it.
It is really remarkable, though, because Chovy for so long has been a player that was about lane above all else. And he's gone for Akali twice and really got pummeled. And in the last game, basically did the same thing, blinding Sylas, getting punished by the Tristana as the hook.
Yeah, hook going to connect onto Delight here. And with the heal from the Gleaming Quill, just looks like it's an even trade.
I think at the very least, versus the T1 match, they definitely learned not to fight around the level 4 Akali. Spike.
Yeah. The hook.
Second time could be the charm. They get the cleanse out from Pays already, and Delight down to sub 50%. Still, Mickey X taking a fair bit of damage here as Hansama also pretty low. What happened in this mid lane? As Caps is very has been damaged quite a lot.
Making it spicy here. We could have a jungler wrap around. Currently, Yike on the Maokai here is looking towards bottom side. And if you know you're going into it, you're picking this Lucian, as Yike will get clipped by some vision there on the ward, I believe, allowing Peanut to come down and try and stop this possible dive.
Yeah, Peanut going to spot him here as well towards that tri-brush. As you can see, another hook going to hit a minion. Oh, even got the observers on that one. Like to see it. That means it's a very close one if the observers are also thrown off. As Chovy now going to have to deal with this one. Has to flash. There's the twisted advance as Yike pushes Chovy back. This could be another first blood as the sapling's going to be there, but it's not quite enough. And G2, they get the flash out of Chovy this early on. Absolutely fantastic.
And a huge chunk of damage as well. Let's see what they can actually do with it. You mentioned the mid push and the roams from Caps. Maybe they can actually affect that bottom lane. So much kind of hinging on this bottom side champ select. Mickey and Hansama continually going into the brush to try and get these angles.
It's the grand entrance. Mickey has a bit of a plan.
They want to stop that crash.
Now the re-engage opportunity. They get Delight. Delight says that's fine. Still piercing light flying through. He's taking a bit of damage, but an even trade once again here on this bottom side. Yeah,
they got the Ignite down as well. And Caps is going to finish up pushing that mid lane. But it looks like Gen.G will be fine here.
Still haven't gotten the crest just yet.
Another hook. Got to connect here from Mickey X, but he's going to get knocked up this time around. Delight is extraordinarily low. He's going to have to flash, and there it is. The Light Slinger from Hansama will get first blood in the 2v2.
And Caps with that mid push was coming down. He's spotted on the ward here, so Pays should know and back off. But my goodness, the Lucian Nautilus pick actually pays off. They get their first blood.
And particularly with the PTA, right, the amount of early damage that you can output can be very, very surprising. Gen.G so desperate to try and get that crash that they give over an early lead to the bot lane of G2.
And they needed every last little bit of damage. It was the second shot of the Lucian passive that just barely flipped that kill and got Delight.
BB taking a bit of damage here towards his top side, but he has teleport still available. Doran going to be able to get himself the crash, and he should be feeling just fine. If you have a look at the CS numbers, looks like the Cassante is absolutely all right in this lane. Do want to remind everyone that this is in fact our featured matchup presented by Mercedes-Benz. Caps versus Chovy as we check out this replay on this bottom side to see Hansama picking up first blood.
All right, Mickey with the initial hook. Then they tried to turn it back around on him. Delight with the W and the both supports flashing out, but Mickey with the extra 100 HP. Meanwhile, the last shot does take down Delight. I want to point out that our scoreboard needs a little refresh here, so if we could just drop that back down. Some fishy scoreboard work going on here where they only handed out 1 assist, no deaths, and no kill.
Hansama has a kill, don't you worry. What is
I've never seen that one before.
Well, yeah, some weird calculations going on where
Huh.
We've got an assist, but where did it come from?
Often you see like there's a death, but there's no kill.
Chovy.
At the top of the screen is Chovy, looks for the angle, but Yike is here. Seismic shove to push him away. He does have ult 2 still available, and now we've got to fight towards the bottom side. Peanut looking to help out his bottom lane. Mickey X in trouble, and he's going to be taken down. That is not first blood. That is, in fact, the second kill of the game, as Pays going to be able to collect that one.
So you've got some LCK observers trying to rewrite history here.
And,
I see what's going on.
Be careful, Kobe.
I see what's going on here. Don't worry, Europe, I got your back.
Yeah, they can't believe it. There's no way that happens in the 2v2. Is Delight not going to find the Gleaming Quill onto Hansama, who's just standing his ground just fine up against the Lovers duo.
And to give credit to G2, I think that with this setup, you also identify one of the few weaknesses that Gen.G has had consistently, which is specifically the laning phase of Pays and Delight. Once you get out of lane, I think they are, without a shadow of a doubt, the strongest bot lane that we have within the LCK. But it's not the first time that we've seen them fumble a little bit in the early laning phase.
Well, Peanut is just going to come on over and smite.
Not the penguin!
Yeah, that's his happy penguin. That's what he does every single time. You have to get used to it. Peanut is probably our biggest emoter in the LCK. Although it used to be Showmaker, but he's lost a bit of his pizzazz on that front. Peanut definitely loves it. So going to be able to steal that one away. Not the end of the world here for Yike.
And Peanut has had such an amazing year. Big advantage for him as he's able to finish up his top side here. Doran, it's been pretty quiet on top side, but he's also going to be able to push out. Let's take a look at the replay, though. This was the equalizer. Peanut, as we're talking about him, comes in, able to get the kill back here for Pays, set him up. And as we move forward, so much weight is going to be on the shoulders of Delight and Peanut. This initiation for Gen.G. They've been so good in tandem as a pairing when they get to move together.
Yep. Chovy, of course, spotting out caps there, so the wall not going to come through. Mickey does know that he's unseen and in fog of war right now, but still, G2 probably just going to have to settle with a bit of a shove, get themselves out. First Drake is going to be that Cloud, and the Herald is going to be spawning in about 5 seconds' time as well, so it could be the next place to pay your attention. Chovy has a big lead when it comes to farm, and it just shows that Caps has been looking for these angles elsewhere.
I was about to say, even with the early gank and Chovy almost dying, he's been able to maintain almost 10 CS per minute on the Akali here. Impressive stuff. And we saw yesterday, or I think it was, yesterday, with Swiss especially, we've had a lot of games where Chovy fell behind pretty substantially early. And
he was on average behind about 9 CS or something like that. We saw that in that comparison. As Delight wanting to find an angle here. You can see he's looking for something with Peanut a little bit too far away. And now Chovy finding the 5-point strike, has the Shroud in hand, but is now going to use it. Yike is moving in, and the Seismic Shove going to be just barely avoided. Nicely done. Still, Peanut now looking for an opportunity. Yike not liking the 2v2 by the looks of things. Also, not liking the fact that it's Peanut that is going to face check the brush.
Aha, free for strike money.
Let's see. Most important, he just doesn't care.
Whoa. Okay, he actually doesn't care. He didn't even go.
No, he didn't even look at it.
Wow.
He's up a wave.
I'm not going to lie. I think that, like, if there's any flex for a player in top lane, that's it.
That is nutty.
Yeah, but that's not good, though.
No, it's not. No.
Is it? Did you see last game?
It's free money.
It kind of worked out.
Well, I'm not worried about Doran's mantle, don't get me wrong, but that's free money you leave on the table.
Yeah, and he's saying, I don't need this. He's throwing it away.
Yeah, but that's bad.
Throw that money in the dirt.
You do need this. You want all the money.
Do you know what the only money that he cares about is? That 50 gold inside the Nexus. That's the one that he cares about. And he's going to see whether he can collect that one. Gen.G only ahead by a little bit of gold because Doran keeps giving up these cannon minions. There's a hook that's going to connect, and the flick back as well. Chovy not dead just yet, but he has to flash. The Weaver's Wall comes down. Chovy's still alive for so long. He ults to get himself into the fog of war, and now Mickey X doesn't have a lot of damage. The flash comes through. He's got the blast code, but the hook lands, and Mickey takes down the mid laner of Gen.G.
Oh my, Mickey's able to land it. He's got no mana left after that, though, so Yike's gonna get chased out, and he pays the price.
There's the Magnet Storm. That is going to be the kill going over to Doran, and it should also follow up with that Rift Herald. Now Pays versus Hansama. Not exactly the best moment here for Pays potentially, but we'll see how it is going to go as he's shoving this way forward. The culling just going to do a bit of damage, soften up the Xayah, but he's going to get to safety.
really big there, because I think that might have been the window for G2, right? The moment Chovy goes down, even though he has CP, death timer is quite a while, as FaZe might be in some trouble here. Cancel on the light.
Yeah, Black going to be able to get himself to the blast cone, but that means that he's not going to be able to get here to help out FaZe. And Mickey looking for the dive. There is a big wave here. Still, Featherstorm is at the ready, and this is a dangerous dive to go for 2v1, and they are going to think better of it.
Yep, no ult for Mickey. Used it in the play on the top side. No ignite for him either. Means that Gen.G, not only is FaZe going to be fine there, clear out the minions, but he's going to come over and add the DPS to finish up their dragon.
And I love the setup here from G2, right? They have the vision control. Chovy completely disrespects the lack of control that Gen.G has, and they're able to actually get the kill. But because Gen.G on the end of this play is able to still get the Herald, this heroic play from Mickey, both starting off on Chovy and then actually being able to take him down, doesn't actually end up being a big difference maker. It's just the back right there from Broken Blade. He's able to join the play, so Gen.G still able to find the pick.
Yeah, Doran with the push on the top side comes on down.
And Yike also just going to give Chovy the thumbs up. He's like, I know you want to pad those CS stats. Nicely done. Certainly did that. And speaking of which, he is 20 ahead. He's having a pretty
they're
good time.
well padded.
Oh, I got that
yeah.
one. Oh, I was worried.
And still, even though Doran has missed a large amount of cannons, he is in a very good spot. 10 CS ahead of Broken Blade towards this top side of the map.
That's kind of weird. Broken Blade, why do you actually try for that cannon?
Yeah, top laners don't need them.
It's been
Didn't you hear?
Yeah, Doran's got the new strat.
I'm not in on this joke. Cannons matter.
Yeah, they do. But it's better for my mental, because it really bothers me when they just go wide. And it has just looked like he hasn't cared at all.
Of all the casters, we should know that Doran is a bit of an enigma as Caps.
Yeah, that is very, very true. Chovy not going to dive back over the rocks, which would hurt a fair bit. That shuriken backflip. And Doran is going to collect himself a plate. Certainly liking that one as Broken Blade for an opportunity. The Infernal Chain's going to stop that, and the Q3 not going to connect. And Doran, with his Gore Drinker, feeling pretty happy.
It's weird because he cares about all other sources of gold.
Yeah, right.
Kills, getting all the other kinds of minions, tower plates.
Seismic shove not going to hit. Chovy is going to land the backflip though, as Cap's in trouble, and Chovy's going to lock it down. Perfect execution gets him back to the minion wave.
And the ultimate.
Oh no.
He got Caps' flash as well because the Akali passive auto attack. Chovy got it off. That is really rough for G2. Not only do they lose their mid laner, it's a Rift Herald put up in mid. Yike already used the ultimate as well. That thing's going to crash. Chovy's going to get even more fed on this Akali.
And he got the cannon.
Oh, and now Peanut is making his way towards Broken Blade. There's the stun, but he does get a bit of a pushback. Can he actually find an opportunity? But Peanut is too tanky. The last auto attack from the turret is not going to connect, and he calculated it, I guess. Broken Blade goes back and collects himself his Frozen Fist, and he's going to see whether he can be that frontline for G2 as Hans Sama looking for an opportunity here towards the bottom side. It's a bouncy castle provided by Mickey. Gen.G are just going to back away.
One big problem, though, with so much attention being paid towards the top side of the map and it not quite working out, is that the Gen.G bot lane actually is feeling quite fine. Do take another unfun amount of damage, but when you look at the CS, still able to maintain it. Oh, Caps.
It's a jump scare. That's going to be the knock-up with the Q2. There's a flash Q3 as Caps is going to find the seismic shove, and can he keep this Aatrox at bay? He's going to have... Oh, doesn't get the knock-up in time, and the teleport is going to be blown to make sure that Caps survives.
Nice little evasive maneuvers there from Caps. Gets the seismic shove and then goes into the brush to try and drop vision and allow himself to ult out. And he was going to be fine, but Broken Blade already used teleport up to top side anyway.
Gets the flash as well. So Doran actually not going to have quite the same amount of backline access. We do see, though, as mentioned, that although Hans Sama and Mickey were able to get a slight lead, Chovy somehow came out of this lane unscathed. And Doran, having been mostly left alone, was able to build this big a gold lead.
I'm a believer. The anti-cannon strat.
Yeah, it's working. Look at that money. Must have come from somewhere.
Biggest lane lead in the entire game. So we get another look at it. And of course, Chovy had the Q. The end of the Q, the 5-point strike finishes him off, even with the flash there from Caps. And you know the end of this story as well, as Peanut came in. And Peanut was taking the tower. Calculated, though, no problem for him. Master of his craft.
Okay, Caps is dead in the bottom lane. We're going to need to go back and do another replay in order to find out how the heck that started. But this is starting to go from bad to worse here as Gen.G move towards a 2,000 gold lead. Next Drake going to be that Ocean. I think my count is about 36 for the tournament.
So we're keeping track of cannons, we're keeping track of Oceans.
We're trying not to keep track of cannons, to be perfectly honest. It only makes people depressed, Chronicler.
Hans.
Yeah, he's getting chased down here by Peanut and Delight. He finds the W, but Yike is able to move himself out of the way.
Again, those two on the Rakan and Rel, the duo of jungle support roaming. They get 2 flashes for their trouble. Gen.G are just snowballing this one kind of out of control.
And this is something that I have to really give Gen.G credit for, and that I think makes him so hard to play into. Got it.
He got a cannon.
He did.
He invested a Q2 for it. And he even moved back with his Umbral Dash and didn't hit Broken Blade.
Taking into account that I'm still firmly of the belief that there should not be a Delight on Rakan ever. As Peanut, the main reason why I want to make this point is because Peanut got what, like out of these 2 games, like 8 champions banned against him in total, and he's still 100% kill participation on the Rel, making things happen left and right. As Chovy,
he's in trouble. He's gonna ult just to try and get that ult to Prime. Can he get over anything? The answer is no. He's gonna be able to at least use it, but Hans Sama grabs that kill, and now the all-out's gonna be used here by Broken Blade to try and get himself out of here, but it's not gonna work out. The CC duo will bear down on him. And that is going to be enough. But it's a 1-for-1 across the map here, and it does mean that the Drake goes into the hands of G2.
Exactly. Considering that G2, their position and how far they were behind, pretty good for them to be able to get the shutdown kill onto Chovy's Akali, even though they sacrificed topside again. Broken Blade going down, plus the Herald, plus the tower up there. They're able to equalize it here for Caps.
Yep, and the goal difference provided by AWS showing us that things going a little bit worse than the previous game for G2. But I think that with the fact that there's no better Maokai ultimate, things like that, maybe there's some possibilities as Caps is now in trouble once again. Chovy's angry. They ganged up on him before. So the wall is going to be used, and Caps is even only going to ride half of it because he likes the look of the minion wave. He will be A-okay.
still another cooldown for us, although the teleport, not the worst of trades, as Akali can be notoriously slippery. There are diminishing returns on that, and G2 have more than enough tools
That's why they brought 4 people, and Maokai ulted towards the tower, so he had nowhere to go back to. Meanwhile, the answer play.
Yeah, this is unfortunate. I imagine BB was trying to push out the wave so that there was no dive possible, should know that a counterplay is coming across given how heavy the investment of G2 is towards the bot side of the map, but doesn't actually get it. Is surprised by Doran out of the brush and ends up getting taken down.
Oh, Peanut hurting G2 right now as there is the Magnus Storm. Delight dives in as well, and everyone's charmed. The grand entrance is massive. Hans Sama just deleted from the rift, and now Chovy just waiting for that blast going, and he follows Caps. Can he find the angle is the question. The ulti's not going to get there. Perfect execution, not exactly named correctly in that moment, but Gen.G still come away ahead.
These Rakan Rel engages. Oh, it is so beautiful. So hard to get away from. Delight initially. Chovy's actually still poking around here. He wants more. He wants to help out Rift Herald, and Rift Herald's getting in there. The tower's down. Gen.G, they're not done. Doran's behind tier 2.
The World Ender has been popped. Doran is just trying to get them out of here as Peanut dives over. Okay, there's the shattering strike as he gets crashed down upon. Does Mickey throws out the ultimate. That's going to be the answer, but it's not going to save this inner turret. And like Baron hasn't even spawned yet, and they are pushing them away from their inners.
And all they get in return is a topside turret. It's not feeling great.
However, they do get it.
Yeah, they also got the cannon, but that's not what we're focusing on, okay? The big thing here is that because of how aggressive Gen.G is playing, G2 never ever gets the setup of playing Kobe. You were talking about it, that engage power for Peanut and Delight is so hard to play into.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of my favorite combos in the game because it's so good at team fighting. You saw there, either one can actually start it out. This time around, it was Peanut. And then Delight followed up, but Chovy wanted a little bit more there. He gets the flash burned from Caps as well. They're just constantly going at this Talia. Burning Caps' flash, going after kills. Hans Sama's next. He's able to get away this time around, though. Just dashes over towards the rest of his teammates.
Mickey was charging the Hex Flash. They are going to look for a little bit of an angle, but with Baron now 20 seconds away, that is where you're going to need to be. And it's Infernal Rift as well, so everything is opened up as far as that Baron pit is concerned. So Yike going to collect the blue buff, and Sama going to grab one as well. And we're going to see where the next attack is going to take place. 4,000 gold the lead for Gen.G. Surmountable, perhaps, but still, it's going to be a very, very tough one here for G2.
Playing Maokai on Infernal Rift also always feels a little bit sad. You know,
yeah.
Less brush.
Like, where are my choke points?
Where are my choke points? Where is my Ocean Rift? Where are my sapling spots? They're not there.
Yeah.
Which thematically, I gotta say, do kind of like that, you know, because he's
kudos.
a tree.
Yeah.
I really appreciate thematic consistency in a video game. I think League of Legends is...
I mean, from this point,
Fitting right in.
from this point on, it's just so hard for G2 because they're really, really going to get outscaled. They do not have any really good end game characters drafted here. It was a lot on, you know, trying to snowball with a Lucian lane mid, with a roaming mid laner there, or with a Lucian lane bottom and a roaming mid from Caps here with the Taliyah. If that gets behind, like, you're not going to be able to team fight your way out of this, and you're also not going to be able to split your way out of it because Chovy Sakali rules the side lanes, as does Doran here. And Gen.G, they can both push out side lanes, get themselves priority on these objectives in the setup for the 5-on-5, and then have advantage in the 5-on-5.
And even though Hans is on item parity with Paze, like, how is he actually supposed to team fight against an Akali that's going to try and jump on top of him? Peanut, who on the rel has still 100% kill participation, continuously goes in, double Radiant Virtue, and the light on Rakan. There's just so little space, you can only cleanse a single thing.
He's not. He's
not.
playing
Oh, well,
Lucian, short-range champion, into the rel Rakan, which we mentioned has really good early picks there. It makes it so hard to play the game. But, okay, G2, maybe they can make some picks. When you're in a position like this, you're looking to try and use Taliyah Wall and either Nautilus or Maokai to try and pick somebody off away from the rest of the team. There are a couple of small bounties on the side of Gen.G. If they can try and take down one champion, maybe they can start to chain things together to get themselves a foothold back into this game, because otherwise Gen.G will just keep up the pace here. Dragon number 2 will go down quite easily for them.
And against Weibo, they were able to make that combat, right? They were able to get the multi-man wombo combo, then aided by Broken Blade. I think his Yone in particular being such a pivotal part of that turnaround, and maybe he can find a pick here as well.
Looking for an opportunity under Delight. They do manage to interrupt his attempt to get out, but there's the Magnet Storm, and in dives Chovy. There's just not enough damage from G2 as Paze goes up into the air. Delight locks down that kill, and it's Chovy that's popping over the back line. Hansama not going to be able to do anything, and now Caps has to try to flash away, but it's not going to work because he gets backflipped on by Chovy. He picks up the double in the end, and Gen.G look to the Baron.
A 5-4-0. It looks like Delight might go down, but no. Somehow he survives, tankier than you might think with the Radiant Virtue and the Mercs, and the turnaround from Gen.G is impeccable.
It's actually pretty nasty, a couple of things he does. Watch as he's able to get back to Paze, and then when Cassante comes in as well, he hits a really nicely timed W on the ult of Cassante. Here, Broken Blades go for him, he gets the W, they kill him in the air. The backline is so safe. Meanwhile, Chovy here, he doesn't even care about the rocks.
It wasn't even there.
He took a lot of damage from them as well, but it's just not enough. And this is the problem that you guys already illustrated, right? Like G2, when they're behind, don't do quite enough. And oh man, Delight, when he's having a good time, it definitely shows.
He's aptly named.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, they've got some interesting plans in Champ Select to give me Rakan both times.
He's had it
Let's
3
see.
times now, hasn't he? A little bit too much Delight being able to play Rakan, I think, so far at Worlds. See whether that is going to be addressed. Is Peanut going to be able to secure the Bramble back? And Gen.G ahead by very close to 10,000 gold. We do need to remind everyone that this is where Weibo were as well. But it's looking like a little bit more of a dire situation this time around, just given the compositions and how it is going.
Okay, how about this then? Fair is fair. Since G2 have done a lot of Baron flips and given them over to the opponents, is it Gen.G's turn to give them one?
Yeah.
Deal?
Yeah.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, that's a
There it is.
classic.
All right,
They
Paze.
know!
Oh, they know! All right, Peanut's going to dive in. That's a massive stun as well with the Shattering Strike as Doran's being dealt with. Peanut's taking a lot of damage, though. He's not going to be able to sustain more than this, but Paze is still ripping them apart. And look at Doran. He is a monster as he goes golden to avoid death. And I have a feeling it may just be over here. Paze very close to that pentakill as Delight also is going to bait them in, but Paze is dead. There's Paze and Delight both down as now Peanut is in trouble. Doran is going to be able to pick up the kill in the end, and now Caps, he might be able to get there. He might be able to do it, but the Umbral Dash is going to buy him the space. Peanut, what are you doing moving forward? As there's the Weaver's Wall. Let's see whether this can happen as the Shattering Strike is going to interrupt. And there's the Q from Doran. It ain't clean, but it'll be enough.
More blood for the Blood God here on the Rift at Worlds. At least they make it exciting at the end. Honestly, so hilarious. Look at Gen.G. Scryer's here in the brush.
The pings.
And they knew already, I think.
Yeah, they were already pinging it down, so they were very aware that this was happening. And up until the point where they start mega diving it, they're winning the fight, right? Have a huge gold lead.
Mega diving it,
Yeah, but look at this, okay? Doran goes in, the flickbacks and the Talia actually so big here. Broken Blade trying his darndest.
Pays flashes under the tower to keep up with the rest of the team in the tower dive. Starts taking the tower. He goes down. Broken Blade collecting some of the bounties before he goes down. But then here, Caps is like, everybody else just went for it, so I'm gonna send it. Peanut, though, nails him with the Q, hits him right off the wall, stuns him into his death.
And now we are straight into some action. Doran has found himself some friends as the Nature's Grass flies in as well. The Gore Drinker doing so much work. This Aatrox is looking unkillable. There goes the tree as Pays comes through with the damage. And from the grave, the Sapling is going to try and stop Gen.G, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Rocks and Seismic Shoves going to at least deter Gen.G for now.
And they are able to hold onto their base, which Gen.G, no one able to take in just yet. The problem is with this gold lead, G2 is not going to be able to contest a single objective on the map for the foreseeable future. 30 seconds, this Infernal Drake definitely going to be gone.
Yeah, they know. Okay, yeah, we know. G2 knows with our draft. That's why they're doing Fnatic Brush. They're like, hey,
might as well.
It's going to be rough. We pretty much have no shot in this game. Let's go with a Fnatic Brush. Maybe we'll surprise them. Get scrappy, get some kills down here, but Gen.G no. They're going to go right over to Dragon number 2. Let's see if G2 send it again. Huh? Anybody up for it?
Of course they are.
I'm up for it.
Yeah, why not? When it worlds, you know. As Pays is going to start this one up, so Gen.G are at least going to get the Drake set up. Not quite there for G2, as you guys were talking about, but maybe they'll move to... Is that 100%? Win probability powered by AWS.
I see a sliver down there.
So 99, 1%.
Somebody break out the magnifying glass.
Okay.
They caught
Shove
him.
is going to collect Chovy for now. He takes a lot of damage. Thank you, observers, for keeping us in the dark about that one. Chovy's going to have to go for a bit of a reset. Doesn't have teleport either. So if he wants that health bar back, it's going to be a bit of a journey. And
this is one of the parts where I think G2 holding on as well as they do actually can, you know, if it's a 1%, we're going to treat it like the 1% is going to happen, right? Gen.G actually is exclusively short range. So we made a little bit of fun of that bot side dive. That was definitely a bit gratuitous. But they do actually need to fight because you have zero range. Like
there's not a lot of siege.
Your longest range character is Kai'Sa, or Xayah rather, which obviously isn't really going to do the trick. And that's why this Baron should be enough to actually open the base and end the game. We'll see if G2 can find the heroics again here towards this Baron.
Now clearing out some of the vision.
The
some
1%.
Opportunities here. Yep, the 1%.
Or the 0.001% as it might have looked like on the graph.
Hey, we've already beaten those odds once this Worlds, right? The 0.87. So we could potentially do it again.
Let's see it.
But I don't know what, it's a difficult one.
It's not looking good.
No, it's not. It's not. 9,000 gold is the lead. Or 9.7. Decimals seem to be the thing for now. Seismic Shove going to push back this wave, and Caps at least getting some money here. If he does get to a Rabadon's Death Cap, he might start doing a fair bit of damage here. But it is so far away. Delight is lurking right now. Caps gonna get crashed into here. Delight looking for that angle, and he should be able to get there. The layering of CC, but no, Caps is able to flash over the wall. That is still a big cooldown, and Gen.G not investing much.
I feel so bad for Caps. He has had such a rough game. He can't even get the Gromp here. Peanut jumps in. He smites it. Caps has to flash away, and the Baron is now definitely going to be forfeit. Gen.G pick it up.
And there's no Gromp on the other side of the rift for Yike as well, as we saw. Things a bit barren. And speaking of which, Gen.G will collect that as well. Now looking for that reset, spend that money, and move towards the G2 base. They do have all of their inhibitor turrets all still together. But 10,000 gold, and Gen.G with a composition that certainly snowballs effectively if you can convince your enemy team to fight. And Peanut, it's his turn to sit in a brush.
Yeah, he has claimed the topside Fnatic brush.
Well, it's also just one guy.
I just realized also,
for me, that's the
Fnatic brush as a term is so old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably barely any people know what I'm talking about. They're probably like, what are you talking about? G2's playing.
Well, they know Fnatic Brush because of all the other commentators that have said Fnatic Brush.
Yeah.
So you don't even need to know the actual moment.
Yeah.
You just need to know the moment that you heard it last.
It's been passed down over the years, the tradition.
It's an old tale.
Yeah.
It's a nursery rhyme now. As the teleport is going to come through, that's going to get Doran over here. And he wants to start a battle. As you can see, G2 not going to let him fall now, but they take the inner turret, only extend that gold lead ever further.
Full one being set up. I think G2 might want to look for a pick. Maybe they can somehow get Chovy with his stopwatch flash and ultimate available. So hard to lock the Sakali down.
I love the optimism.
Yeah?
I have to.
Always got to aim for the stars. Dream big.
We know the odds, Kobe. Never tell me the odds.
Well, Peanut is going to throw the lance forward. Doesn't exactly find too much here, as the siege minion does need to be dealt with, as Doran just umbrally dashes out of the way of the seismic shove. Rocks go down. It's a cooldown that Gen.G are going to be tracking. You see now they're going to get underneath this turret. There's the world ender from Doran, but he's taking a lot of damage. Diving forward, he's got the GA. Delight not quite going to be able to find the angle there as well, as he did pop the ultimate, but there's the Magnus Storm, lands on a 4. The perfect execution from Chovy, and the wallets are just too heavy, and they slam down onto G2. Gen.G are now just a few turrets away from the knockout stage.
Dun, 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 dun. Are they going to go in there for it?
Oh, Peanut just emoting in the enemy base.
FaZe is calling for them. Hey, get in here. Dive this Maokai. Let me get one more. Somebody get in there.
They're going to.
Somebody get in there.
Absolutely.
Nexus turret number 2 going to go down, and the Nexus will follow. Gen.G are going to join JDG in the quarterfinals.
Woo. Well, coming into the tournament, JDG, Gen.G across the board, everybody's tournament favorites. And look at that. The 2 first seeds, they are out. They are through to the next stage. With flying colors, I might add. Very, very impressive stuff.
I guess the only question that's in my mind as Gen.G take a well-deserved bow is, will